How low can you go? Can you go down low all the way to the flow? Got a little downtown to Chinatown action today in the market. It is Thursday, April 3rd, 9:01 a.m. here in the farm fields. The sunny farm fields. Good to see that sun out. Farm fields of Valparaiso, Indiana. Oh boy, what do we got going on? I do have a short on GLD on the board. That went on yesterday. Purchased 4 contracts, 289 strike on GLD, cost me 24.40. Lady also put on the same trade in her account, along with she has 1,000 shares, just a small position in GLL, which is a 2 times inverse, 2 times bear on gold as well, and then also on Vanguard. I put both of those positions on. So in this particular account, that's the only move we've made recently, except for March 31st when I bought another round of uranium, which is not cooperating. In fact, it is. How far down are we? $3,200 bills on uranium. But I am up 680 in one day, or 27.87%, which GLD currently on the move north. So that's going to be coming down a little bit before it then reverses, and this will go up to over $1,000 today. And once it does, I will definitely consider just taking the profit and put it into my Holly Hobby Velcro wallet. Let's go over to the charts. I haven't messed with the charts lately. Still looking at them a couple times a day, but oh boy. Yeah, I was watching this triangle. Form, and I told Stacy, I go, that's silver and gold are holding up too well. There's going to be a move south very soon. And that's what we have currently going on. How I could shorten this up just a little bit, give us a little bit more realistic perspective. We don't want it to look too scary. So this is not done. No, this is not done. So we'll get a little, it can't just go straight down. We'll come back with a little dead cat bounce and back down some more. It shouldn't go down too much further, I would imagine. I'll take a closer look and measure some things up. Are we looking at a bit of an overreaction? I think we always are. But I think we've also been looking for an excuse to go down. So you can see currently GLD is at 285.66, and this morning it got down into I did see it get into the 282s. So I'll be looking for the 282s again today as an opportunity to exit my GLD short at a nice one-day profit. But it is looking like it's having a nice little healthy bar up. As you can see there, 5-minute will show us. Okay, I was looking for a crash through this bottom line. As you can see, I put it green because I'm short right now. And it's way down here. But look, you can see the comeback that it's made since going all the way down into that 282 region. I expect it to go back to that 282 today. If it does not and it gets back up into this chain, then I might be out of luck. But I do have, what do I have? I have a month and a half on those contracts to see them come to fruition. GDX is holding up again very well. We got all of our boxes in place, so I'm going to have to recount all of this and figure out what we're dealing with here. But you can see the move it's made since then. It's just been very tough to keep down, but it is going to go down again soon. So that's how I'm reading it. Bitcoin, this chart is obviously busted as far as how I have it had it counted, but this 5 will rebrand whatever we have to there. That's still, I believe, in the wheelhouse of reality, that we're getting down to at least 80, probably into a 70s handle. We'll take these off just to not be as confused as I normally am. And then remeasure all of this. And what I use, and people have asked me before, as far as, where do you put those boxes and where, how does this Elliott wave theory work? You really have to slowly get into the study of Elliott wave theory, because it reminds me of how I felt in geometry back in high school. And I've said it before, I'll say it again. If it wasn't for the fact that my teacher was also one of my coaches, I'm not sure I would have made it through that class. So I got through this line I had put up here. So we'll take that off for now. We went below this line, which we'll take that off for now, and then just reconfigure how we're looking at this. But again, I'm only looking for probabilities. That's what I think Elliott Wave does for me. Elliott Wave and Fibonacci just helps me see probabilities a little more clearer than just randomly looking at charts and hoping for price to go up or down. Because as one of my mentors told me back in the day, hope is not a strategy. So this, I'm still looking for that as early as today. So yeah, and this chart is busted from as far as a count perspective, but obviously the 5 was right. So that it just would be a different label for that. So we were already in there. Could it go lower? I hope not. The 3 was right on, but the 4, so this could have been an ABC situation. Let's just get rid of that 4 because these numbers are just a busted count. But the end result is there. Will it get through this? If it gets through this box, I'm just going to leave the box exactly where it's at. Then I would imagine look out below. We don't want to see that, but I would imagine look out below because there's a lot of air as far as Fibonacci is concerned between here and probably 5,200. We don't want to see that, but we could. I was looking at this as possibly a triangle ending, and it did exactly that. I just put these lines on. What's today? Thursday. That's probably Tuesday. And it went through and it went down. So I was expecting down, got it. This one stood up really well. Let's just move it over. Same spot, but move it over. So I would still expect to get into the C box on the NASDAQ Qs. Nice little bounce going on across the board, though. I don't know. I would be, just by the looks of the movements, I would imagine we'll fill this gap. You know what TLT and TMF like to do is fill gaps. We'll fill this gap. Let's put on a little fancy ellipse right there. Hey. Make it red. Now let's make it white. I would imagine that will fill. Writing's too small. Let's go to a little bit of an arrow. Wrong way. Welcome to amateur hour here in the stock market. Okay, give me a little this action. Maybe make it a little smaller. Bring it down. Pass it around. That would be what I'd be looking for as early as today. When it happens, then I'll be looking long. Always keeping a close eye on AGQ. It is under the $40 mark now. Looks like I missed the 38 handle this morning. Yeah, I'll be looking for 38s on that today, and I might try to go long on AGQ. That's 2 times silver. Uranium just like cracked me right in the giblets this morning, but it's now made a nice move back up. It's filled the whole gap, so I'm still nervous as to the next move in uranium. But I like to see it above this line for a close today. Where are we at? Like 22.88. I'd love to see a close above that today. And then looking, to me, it looks like just a double bottom here. That's my hope anyways. It has just been, to me, setting up beautifully for a move to the north, but it just hasn't done it. Natural gas, I was watching this and I missed it. I was watching right through here. No, that would have been here. Yeah, I was looking real close here and it just this is what natural gas does too. It moves violently. So, I mean, this thing could keep ripping, keep ripping. So, next pullback, depending on how it looks, is it corrective with three waves, 1, 2, 3 down, or at least an A equals C down? Then I might be looking to go long on Natty. So, thatty is what's going on here. Hope you are doing well. Like, subscribe, comment, share with a lovable friend. You can see my GLD is peeling off some of that early profit. It's trying to fill the gap, and it might do that. Let's go back to the GLD real fast here. So yeah, it's trying, isn't it? Look at that. That's a once we get overbought though, which we will very soon. I would look for a return. How big of a return will determine my feelings on just taking profit on one day, which would make me feel very nice. Take a little profit on that trade. One day trades are amazing, in my honest and accurate opinion. Bitcoin, I would imagine, will look to push into that box as early as today. We shall see. We can only look for probabilities for trading and or investing. This, though, will at one point or some point present a very good market-wide buying opportunity. It's just we got to take a look at things across the board because the Trumpster. This could be his shot across the bow, open up a bunch of U.S. beneficial negotiations, and then start to peel off some of those tariffs, and then the market will be like, hip, hip, hooray, let's go. So we got to be looking for those opportunities. So like, subscribe, comment, share with a lovable friend, and I will indeed see you in the next video.